Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we're going to have a look at the S22 Ultra. And I think so the special thing about the S22 Ultra is the S Pen. So I'll talk about some of the 10 practical usage tips that I've noticed that you can use S Pen in your daily life. So I'll talk about that, and I'll also actually take some interesting FAQ questions I've asked you about Twitter at the end of the video. So we'll also look at that. But yeah, I've already posted the unboxing video of this S22 Ultra, so if you want to know more about it, check that video. In fact, yeah, the camera is also a big highlight on this smartphone. Check the unboxing video, a lot of samples over there. So let's look at this one. And let's talk about the S Pen. And the first feature that I like about the S Pen is, again, these S Pen features were also available in the earlier generations of the Note series, and they have been brought over here. So let's look at them one by one, and some of the important features. Okay, I got a notification. So screen off memo is an important thing that I think so many of you can use it. For example, right now the phone is in standby, just like this, nothing. But if you just take out the S Pen like this, you can just start taking notes. And this is very quick to take ideas or jot down stuff. And you can even scroll down. So let's say it's a longer note. And just hit save, and you can get back to work. So I like this. If I open this, and again, if you open the S Pen like this, obviously this comes and you can view all your notes. For example, the one we wrote just now, as you can see, it came over here. So this is a very powerful tool, I would say, and you can use it if you are a user of the, what do you say, this S22 Ultra series. This can be a useful thing, and I like this functionality. It works very, very well. Anyways, you can also do navigations like this, of course, with the S Pen. That is nothing new, but you can also use it to screen write. For example, let's say this is some article or whatever. Okay, let's say I want to highlight something is important over here. I can just go over here and use this option as actually screen write, and it actually took a screenshot, if you notice. And now using the S Pen, we can highlight stuff. For example, let's say this is important, something I need to highlight like this. I can highlight this, and again I can save. I can write notes, so important or whatever. So, and I can save this. So this can also be useful, and this is useful if you are kind of a research kind of a person working on something, ideas or something. Whenever you find something, just jot down and save it. So this is also an interesting feature, I would say. Next thing, and I think so, I use the S Pen quite a bit because of this one. And if you know, we get PDF documents. You can actually directly just sign the PDF document. For example, I just made a test document of this video that I was working. Where did it go? I kept it in the email. Yeah, as you can see, S Pen features or something. I'll just click on it and just use the Samsung Notes. And if you notice, this is the pointer comes over here, so you know exactly where. So I'll open with this one, and I can read this note and everything. But the thing is that you can actually, this is a proper PDF document, guys. I can just sign, let's say, I can hit this. Okay, now approved. Or I can just sign whatever you want, and you can obviously change the tips and all those things so that you want. So this is a very, and if I just save this is actual PDF document, and this is saved. And I've used this, I'll just discard this for now. And I've used this quite a bit to sign a lot of PDF documents, NDAs and stuff like that. Earlier, actually, I had to download it on the computer, take a printout, sign it physically, and then rescan it and send it. Now, just like this. And so this is a very useful tool, I would say, and works very well. So signing on PDF, annotating on PDF and stuff like that can be very, very useful, and it works seamlessly with all generations of, what do you say, Note series, and here also with the S22 Ultra. Okay, next thing that I use a lot is, again, if you don't know, we have this calendar functionality over here. This is the default Samsung calendar, and you can actually use the S Pen directly with that to add calendar events and stuff like that. Let's have a look at that. For example, let's just open this up. Okay, this is okay, this particular day. Let's say like I have, let's say, on this 14th. Let's just select this, and if I go to the notes, as you can see, it takes here finish review. I can just write finish review, and yeah, it tries to annotate whatever you're writing like this. I made a mistake, but yeah, you get the idea. So you can even use the S Pen and add it to your calendar, and this can be again useful. This device is designed for busy business professionals. So stuff like this, you can actually use the S Pen even in the default calendar app and all those things. So that is a nice thing. Another thing is you can also, if you write down notes, you can actually convert it to regular text also. If you're just jotting down notes or something, like create a note or whatever, here you created some notes, you can convert it to text. Those functionality is also there. Another small thing that I actually liked on this one, and I think so this can be useful. I personally did not take a lot of advantage of this, but now if I think about it, this can be useful. For example, converting language words to another language on the fly. Let me give you an idea about this. This is known as the translate tool. If I just open this, okay, if I click here, you have this translate tool, and if I click over here, right now I've selected, and you can select what you want. Right now it's in English and I want it in Hindi or whatever. You can change to whatever language. And if you notice, if I just hover my tip over a word, this is according, and in Hindi it just converted. This works really well. This I just noticed it on some YouTube video, and people were using it. Now, this is a cool feature. And let's say some word or whatever, resettle, what do you call in Hindi? Okay. So as you can see, so it uses this air commands, and this works very well. And you have tons and tons of languages. It's not just English, have tons and tons of languages and all this thing. Another small thing that I like with the S Pen is that if you notice, we also have a tip over here, and I'll just get out the translate tool. I don't want. You can use it to exactly select what you want. So for cutting and pasting, or again, this is a very precise tool that I love. Another thing that I like is known as Smart Select. Let's say in a particular web page or something, you really just want to send a small snippet or something to anyone, or want to save it, you can do it. For example, let's just open this Economic Times. So let's say I want to share this portion of whatever. Okay, let's just go over here, and I just select Smart Select, and now you get an area like this. I've selected, and I can actually share that. So this is also useful, and you also get it in circles or whatever like this. This is good for images. For text, I would just stick to the regular one, but here you get an idea how to do this. And here for text, I would just use this because like this is easier, I would say. I select this text, and I can share it, and I can also write on this if I want. Let's say this is something I need to like. Okay, so again, this S Pen is a tool, I would say, for research work, for gathering information and stuff like this. So this can also be a useful tool in day-to-day usage, I would say. Next thing is regarding S Pen. You can also use this one for simple editing of videos that you have taken with your smartphone. Again, the video capabilities of this one is very good. It takes very good video. But sometimes when you take videos, there are portions maybe at the start that are useless, or at the end something useless, or you want to highlight something. You can do that with the S Pen. This is a video. Yes, it's a video. But now I can edit stuff on this one. If I click on this, as you can see, now I have a tool like a typical video editor. I have a tool over here. This is your scrubbing. You can easily scrub and go exactly where you want, and you can edit. You can cut stuff, trim stuff. Let's say the starting length, I don't want it. Okay, I can just reduce it like this. Let's say, and this is your playhead. Okay, I wanted to end the video here. I can do that. So stuff like this, you can easily do this. Save it on this one, and you can save it as a copy, whatever effects you can add. So this is something that you can do on it, and you can also put decorations on the video. You can write also. Let's say I want to draw something. I want to highlight this. Okay, so now this is actually highlighted on the video. So again, I can save it, revert it. So simple edits here, as you can see, we have done that. If I play,
recorded by,
as you can see, I highlight this area that I can increase that.
Video quality
with the rear-facing camera. The audio is also so now you can save this or revert it. So again, this can be a powerful tool. We also have stickers also. Maybe you want to like highlight something, let's say smiley face or something, you like it, whatever, like I want this here, I want it where, let's say this is. So now you don't have to go to the PC to do all this stuff. You can do this simple edits like this using the S Pen, and this is a lot more precise, I would say. So can be useful at times, I would say. This is again a fun tool. Youngsters will love it. This is called live messages. We have seen this earlier also. For example, this is the live message, and you can use the camera also. So if you take a photograph, you can write on that. I can understand that if I turn on the camera, but let's use a static background, and I can just write something. Let's say, okay, start drawing. Okay, I'm just going to start. Subscribe. Okay, and I say done. This is actually going to create a small video, and as you can see. So again, this can be fun, as I've told you, for youngsters and stuff like that. Even on your photos, photos that you have taken with the camera, you can do that. So this is again a nice thing. This is known as live messages. Can be useful, as I've told you, for youngsters. I personally don't use it, but yeah, I can. If I give the phone to my daughter, I think she'll have a lot of fun with this feature. Next thing is you can also use the S Pen, because this is a Bluetooth S Pen, guys. You can use this as a remote controller. Camera, this really works well. As you can see, location, no, I don't want. So right now it's on the front facing camera, and if I just press this S Pen button like this, it took a snap. So this can be useful. I can also switch to another rear facing camera. If I just do this again, now it's on the rear facing camera. So as you can see, this S Pen can also be useful, I would say, remotely. In fact, I would say this also works really well if you use DeX as presentation, remote presentation or something like that. If you're using DeX feature wirelessly, you can connect it to monitors and stuff like that, and S Pen can work really well as a remote tool there. So again, even in productivity kind of situations and all those things, presentation, if you're doing remotely using wireless and all those things, you can use the S Pen. So these are some of the features that I would, and again, you just put back the S Pen, automatically it starts charging, so you don't have to worry about it. It's always sort of charged. So these are some of the features that I would say I found. Yes, you can do a lot on S Pen. In fact, I'll try to leave one of the other great YouTube creators video that do a lot of stuff with the S Pen, so I'll leave that. But again, these are some of the features that I found. If you guys know, I'm a little bit paranoid about privacy, and I'm happy that now Samsung is taking the privacy seriously, and at least on this version they have further enhanced it. For example, we have the permission manager. Let's have a look at the same now. Okay, if I just go, why am I using the S Pen? I can just use my finger. Okay, if we go over here, we have this privacy manager and usage, and this is a new layout, and I like that it actually tells you which apps are actually using critical applications like camera or microphone, etc. in background. For example, last 24 hours, these are the apps that used actually live messages, and my camera app actually used it. Microphone, which apps were actually using the microphone, and location also, again, which apps were. So again, accidentally we give permissions to a lot of apps without thinking that much, but now using this, you easily know. And also you get full access to your camera and microphone, and if you disable it, no app can use it. In fact, I've put it in quick toggles. By default it's not in quick toggles, but you can. For example, I'll just disable the camera access, it'll on. Okay, now if I even switch on the camera, as you can see, it does not work. You have to switch it on, and this works even for microphone. So if I switch it on, and again, notice this green icon and this green LED. That means it is using. So again, these are some of the privacy features that were seen on the Android 12. I'm glad to see that Samsung has implemented that one on this S22 Ultra, and in fact all the S22 ones. Now let's do one thing. Some user questions, let me answer that you were asking me on Twitter. And the first question was from Onkar. He was asking, is Samsung DeX available in S22 Ultra? If yes, how useful? Yes, it's of course available, and you have to pull it. It's your DeX, and in fact It supports wireless DeX also and wired version, as you can see, DeX on TV or monitor, or you can use even the DeX on a Windows PC. So this works very well, and wirelessly it works. So let's say if you have a, what do you say, smart TV or something, you can just use the DeX and remotely just watch it on the big screen and stuff like that. And here also S Pen works. So yes, DeX can be useful on it. And in fact, I would say if you're sort of business sort of user, give a try to DeX wireless. If you have a smart TV, it is very, very useful. Okay, next thing, this is by Soumyadi. He's asking, in S22 Ultra, there's an option of charging pauses at 85%. Please try to cover that, right? Yes, it's there. If I go to, where is battery, here you have to go more battery settings. If I go here, you have this option of protect battery. So if you enable this, the phone will charge only up to 85%. So you can enable that. I generally do not do that, but if you really want to take care of the battery, I would say I will disable super fast charging. Super fast charging is bad, and even fast wireless charging. These are the things that I would disable. It's okay. You can go up to 100%. I've been using a lot of phones, but super fast charging I avoid. In fact, for most of the phones, guys, if you guys don't know, I have an old charging dock. It's a USB charging dock. It has 5 ports, but the maximum current that it gets, it's actually a sort of a slow charger. It outputs only at 2 amps. So basically it's charging just at 10 watt, and I charge most of my phones overnight with that, and they give excellent battery life. But yeah, that option of restricting up to 85% charging is there on this one. Okay, next thing is, what is this? Let me just look at it. Can you check in developer options of this phone? Does this phone support aptics adaptive audio? Okay, yes, this is there. In fact, if you go to developers option, and if I go, in fact I saved it, yeah, it's over here. Bluetooth version is there, and if I go to Bluetooth audio codec, yeah, you have the option of aptX and even LDAC. So all of those things are supported. This is the flagship, guys, so you have all those things. So yeah, you can enable it if you want. And next question I got is from Mr. Bala Subramaniam. He says, I've pre-ordered and got the S22 Ultra. He says, I'm feeling that the battery life is not up to the mark. I'm using it on full HD plus, and the battery capped to 85% for longevity. I'm typically getting a SOT of 4 to 5 hours max with Wi-Fi, mobile data, and Bluetooth always on. What's your experience? Mr. Bala Subramaniam, as I've told you, that 85%, don't worry about it, use it. I'm also using it and on the full HD plus, and using it regularly, I would say. I'm not having any issues with the battery life. Is typically, I would say, again, it varies from users to user. This is with single SIM, guys, and not with dual SIM. I'm getting anywhere from about 5 hours to about even 6.5 hours based on what kind of usage I'm doing. So again, battery life is decent, I would say, on this one, considering I use a lot of other flagship Android smartphones. I was not expecting that much because this is a big phone and all those things. But yeah, and in fact, I haven't even scaled down to 60 hertz. I'm just leaving it at that adaptive 120 hertz. And then look at which apps are actually consuming a little bit of battery life. And in fact, guys, if you get a new smartphone, this is not just for Ultra. This is something that I want to let you guys know. First 2-3 days, you will not get that great battery life because the lot of indexing and stuff is being done in background. So the CPU cycles will be used a lot. But after a couple of days, it settles down and the phone knows your usage. Then it optimizes the battery. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Sagar. He's saying, great that Samsung is offering 4 years of Android updates, literally even more than Google. What do you feel about this one? Paji, is the One UI of Samsung become the best? Also, hardware wise, what do you say? Yes, I'm really happy that Samsung with this S22 series, all the S22, and even in fact some other Android smartphones that they are releasing, are offering 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security. So it's a very, very good move, I would say, in the industry, and others should actually follow. This is a great thing that Samsung has initiated. It's nice to see Samsung doing that. Anyways, the last question is that this is from Bhargav. How often do you feel the urge of using the S Pen? I'll be very frank, guys. As you guys know, I keep changing smartphones because I have to test it. So again, here I have to remember that this smartphone has an S Pen. But if this was my primary smartphone for the long run, then maybe I would have started using the S Pen a lot more in my daily usage. In fact, I remember my sister, she had the Note 10 and she had it for quite a bit of time, and she was an avid user of the S Pen. So again, it depends. If you are like used to a smartphone for a long time, you start using the S Pen. Me personally, I know I just test the phone for a couple of weeks, so I know that S Pen is there, but unconsciously I have to think about it. But again, if it's your primary phone, maybe you'll start using the S Pen a lot more. Anyways, guys, this video is becoming very long, so I'll end this up. So again, stay tuned to the channel. Again, I'll also be posting the full review of this S22 Plus very soon. So again, stay tuned for that. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.